Okay, let's start. So again, good afternoon. How are you? How are you doing? Great. All right. So our lesson for today is actually a review for you.
I'm fine,
Right?
sir.
It's good. Please turn on your camera, by the way. Again, our lesson for today
Wait, sir,
is
wait, sir.
okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Again, our lesson for today is a review for you since you're done actually with the lesson, right? You're done with faults and earthquakes. That is why I let you make the video. Now, the video there is your performance task. So again, only few of you actually passed or submitted their outputs. So again, you cannot blame me in case, right? I already told you. And I'm really specific with your outputs. How can I give you grade if you don't have outputs? Uh, Correct? Okay, those are your outputs. I am not used to create grades without outputs. I am not that kind of teacher, to tell you honestly. And I am really specific with the dates also. That is why in this school I am culture shock. Why? Some of you don't initiate or don't have the initiative to to answer your activities. It's a big no no for me. Again, it's up to you. Well, I'm not. Grades are actually it's not given. It is earned. Right? So let's start. Okay, faults and earthquakes. By again, I am your teacher, Mark J. Reyes, your science teacher. What is a fault? A fault is a fracture or zone of fractures between two blocks of rock. Faults allow the blocks to move relative to each other. It depends upon. This movement may occur rapidly in the form of an earthquake. Now, when you say fault, it is directly connected to earthquake. If there is faulting, there's also earthquake. Why do you think so? Any idea? Since you're done with this, Rabi?
Um, the movement of faults. Wait, wait. It's how they move. Like how we move. Wait. When there are ants on your arm, for them, it's really tough for them because they have to keep up with your arm, and so it's just like the one with the faults. Like we're like the arms. We're like the ants in an arm, and that the arm is of the earth, and when they move, things um things try to move with them, and so we feel like as if it's
Correct. No, it is actually Rabi used an illustration of how a fault and an earthquake correlate with each other. Correct, Rabi. Again, your video, by the way, Rabi, is really good. I really like it. It's a
thank you, sir.
diorama. It's a diorama. It's correct. Now again, fault is relative. If there is some fault, there is a faulting. There is if faulting happening, there's always an earthquake also happening because these are movements of plates. Faulting is movement also of blocks of rocks, right? What are the different causes of earthquake, by the way, aside from faulting and aside from plate tectonics? Yes, Rabi.
Volcanic eruptions.
Correct. A volcanic eruption can cause also earthquake. That is why it is also correlated or connected with earthquake. What else? How about others? What else? What are the causes of earthquake, by the way, aside from those that we are already mentioned? Yes, Janine. Yes. Any other idea? How about seafloor spreading? According to scientists and geologists, that the Pacific Ocean is still expanding until now. What could be the cause of the expansion of the seafloor? Again, this is you're done with the lesson, right? So this is just to give you an idea. Any other idea? What do you think is the cause why the seafloor until now in the Pacific Ocean is still expanding, even in the Bermuda Triangle? That is because of the seamounts in the area. So there are a lot of seamounts there that actually erupt in geologic time. And when it erupts, it actually pushes the area, making it expand. That is why. Let's continue with the lesson. This movement occurs rapidly in the form of an earthquake or may occur slowly in the form of creep. Faults may range in length and in few millimeters and or 1,000 kilometers. It depends upon, right? Most faults produce repeatedly displacement over geologic time. Correct. It is slow, right? Some of the fault is really slow that you cannot actually feel it, but it is still moving. Remember, um, Earth before is in Pangea form. Are you familiar with Pangea?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. That's good. Pangea, what is Pangea, by the way?
It is every continent on Earth was still together. It was when every continent on Earth was still together.
Correct, correct. Correct, Rabbi. That's good. Pangea is the concept that every continent is connected before because it looks like a jigsaw puzzle. Are you familiar with the jigsaw puzzle? Yes.
Yes.
So what do you think causes this movement? Why it moves away from each other and bumps to each other? The fault just moved by itself? Yes, Rabbi.
It's from the stress. Like, wait.
What
So
causes
since they're
stress?
so heavy, oh wait, no, it's not just. Oh wait. Uh, the tectonic plates, they were supposed to be just one thing. Then they break over time. Then from their weight, I think from their weight they move relative to where they're
Okay. So wait. How about um what are the causes of movements aside from that? Why it moves over geologic time? Why it's not rapid? There are a lot of factors to consider. Number one is erosion. Remember that these are blocks of rocks, and rocks can be broken in the process of erosion and what else? Weathering. Weathering and erosion is a big factor, number one. Number two, if you're talking about continents, yes, continents move. By the way, just tell me if I'm too fast, right?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Okay. Continents move, the movement there are a lot of causes. Like for example, if we are actually floating in a magma. When it goes out to the volcano, it becomes lava, right? Since we are in the, if you're going to look at the mantle, it looks like a fluid, or it is actually a fluid inside. So we are floating, and there are some pressure on it, correct? So sometimes this pressure wants to go out through volcanoes, and aside from volcanoes, it will usually let the fracture move. You're familiar with fracture already, right?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the causes of those movements. So let's continue. Most faults produce repeatedly the same geologic time. During an earthquake, the rock on one side of the fault suddenly slips with respect to the other. The fault surface can be horizontal, vertical, or some arbitrary angle in between. The two sides of non-vertical fault are known as hanging wall and footwall. So you can now distinguish what is a hanging wall and what is a footwall, right? The hanging wall occurs above the fault plane and the
Yes.
footwall occurs below it. This terminology comes from the mining because this was observed by the miners and the researchers, the geologists. When working on tabular ore body, the miner stood with the footwall under his feet with the hanging wall above him. So there are a lot of documentaries with this. Okay, let's move now to the types of faults. Any question? Please ask questions. You can ask questions anytime. Rabi, yes?
I just want to make sure that the footwall is the one below and then the hanging wall is the one above.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the bases of the footwall and hanging wall will be the fault plane. So let's discuss fault plane later because it is
Oh
already
wait, sir,
illustrated.
I have one more question.
All right, go, Rabi.
The fault scarp is the exposed part of the wait no. Under the land there is that piece of dirt, and then is that the one that's the fault scarp?
Yes, that's a fault scar. Any other question? How about others? Others,
Oh
so
wait, yes, I also have one more question. Like
go,
those
Rabi.
rocks on the climbing, like there's really high rocks that people climbed, the natural ones. They're climbing the fault scarps.
Yes, correct, Rabi. As what you had observed in those
Okay.
documentaries, these are exposed fault scars. Have you seen how huge are those? Because faulting
Yeah.
uh, over a period of time may expose its scar. So again, weathering and erosion. No? And remember that weathering and erosion can actually remove particles or remove dust particles or soil in those areas, exposing now the scars. Any other question? I want others to ask also question
And
because
for me now,
I am thinking if I have only two students here. I have Ravi and only Janine. I can see only Ravi and Janine here. Others don't have camera. Okay, please ask
No, sir.
questions because to tell you honestly, I cannot gauge you if you really get the lesson or you didn't understand the lesson or you actually understand the lesson.
I
It's
didn't
between.
understand the whole thing, Chair.
You didn't understand the whole thing?
Yes, Chair. It's complicated, Chair.
Now that is why, no. Diba I
Uh,
told you, science is not complicated. You are the one making it complicated. It's really simple. No, I already given you illustrations there. No, do not exaggerate the topic. Now, sometimes students exaggerate the topics. We are only focusing on the faults, the bumping of those rocks, and movement of those rocks. Those are just movements of rocks. You're just making it more complicated. It's so easy. That is why if you're going to look at your module and your PowerPoint presentation, it is just very basic, right? Basic. The illustrations are there already. No? Even the arrows are there. So you can actually, distinguish the movements and distinguish where is the footwall and the hanging wall. Aside from that, these are just faults. No? Have you seen the illustration? The PowerPoint? The shared screen? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In your shared screen, have you seen the illustration? Okay. This illustration will give you an idea of what is happening when there is a fault or faulting. This is actually dissected area of a fault. Dissected. That is why you can see the hanging wall and the footwall. What makes it more complicated? Please ask question. Because you're done with this. And to tell you honestly, you will be, taking also the topic in senior high, not just in junior high. This is a topic in senior high under earth science. Any other question? Please ask questions. So that I can feel your presence. Okay, let's move. Strike, slip, fault. Again, the term strike and slip. These are just basic terminologies. I use these terms because it is really easy. It is really easy to understand. Strike, slip, fault involves the right as well as the left motion. Okay, left and right movement. In a strike, slip, fault, the motion movement occurs in near vertical plane. This is a vertical movement, either left or right. When the plates on either side of the fault moves horizontally with respect to each other, that is actually strike, slip, fault. Meaning to say that the plates there moves in that direction. It's either left or right. The illustration are there already. Can you see the illustration? Can you clearly see the illustration?
Yes.
Again, you're done with
Yes.
this, right? I want to clarify, you're done with this lesson. Okay. Deep sleep. Okay, deep. Meaning to say, the one side is submerged, while the other side is uplifted, right? Deep sleep fault may occur either a vertical or horizontal motion on the movement of the Earth's crust. Deep sleep fault further classified into normal fault and reverse fault. Again, there are some terminologies there. The normal fault, under deep sleep, the normal fault, and the reverse. The deep sleep fault is developed at an angle to Earth's surface and relative movement or motion is up and down. So if it is up and down, it is deep sleep. Now, we will now classify if...
Oh, wait, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the dip slip fault steeper than the normal and reverse fault, or is it just how far they...
Okay. Deep sleep fault, under deep sleep fault are the normal fault and the reverse. Again, under deep sleep fault is the normal fault and reverse. So if you're going to use a mind map with this, are you familiar with mind map?
No.
Okay. Mind map will give you an idea of what the topic is all about. What is under this topic? Like for example, fault. Okay. Below fault, types of fault. Okay. Types of fault, number one. What is the number one fault? Strike slip.
Normal fault.
Strike slip.
Oh,
Okay, types. We are still in the types. Strike
Oh.
slip. Number 2,
Oh.
deep slip. Under deep slip, we have 2 categories: the normal fault and the reverse fault. So those are just glimpse of
Oh.
how to create a mind map. Later on, also,
Oh. So
yes, Rabi, continue.
So the dip slip fault is just a category, and
It's a
then
major
inside
category.
that
Yes,
category or
the subcategories are, yes, Rabi, go.
under that category is just the normal fault and the reverse fault.
Correct. Okay, any other question? I like Rabi. Rabi is really asking question, meaning to say he is interested with the topic. Are you not interested with your topic? Janine? Again, deep slip fault has 2 subcategories, okay, subtopics. These subtopics are normal fault and reverse fault. Hopefully also you're taking down notes, because in your major exam, this will come out majorly. The majority of the questions are with this because the topics are already gone 2 times, right? Okay. Let's move now to the subcategory of deep slip fault. You have the normal fault when the upper rock or hanging wall tries to move down. What are the causes of the moving down of this hanging wall? Again, what do you think are the causes why this hanging wall moves down? Any idea? Dom, Vincent, where are the others? Why do you think causes this hanging wall to move down? I thought you're done with the topic. This hanging wall moves down again, maybe because of soil erosion, or maybe because weathering, or maybe because um, the upper rock or the hanging wall has a lot of load or stress, or maybe because there are some stress already in the fault line, or what else? Maybe because of the gravitational pull, because these are rocks, correct? Remember that your gravitational pull is 9.8 meters per second squared times the weight of those rocks. So it can be what? Driven by gravity. Or maybe because there are a lot of water flowing there. That is why. Or maybe because there are some friction happening there. Okay? Or maybe because there are some man-made disaster. You know what I mean? Remember that miners also, encounter this. So let's continue. It is known as a normal fault. When the crust is extended, a normal fault occurs. Yes, Rabi.
You see, there wasn't there that wait no the landslide in Naga, the very big one, wasn't it caused by mining?
Yes, it's mining. Sad to say. Have you seen the area? If you're going to look at
Yes.
it over, bird's eye view, you can see that it's actually, devastated.
When we go to Toledo, we get front. eh, When we go to Toledo, the road we take, it's right in front of where the landslide happened, and we can see how big it is. The wall, it's so yellow, and there was so much that was off the hill.
Yeah. Correct, correct. No, because these are man-made. These are man-made. And remember that whatever you did to nature, the nature will actually give it to you back more times. Correct? We don't have the we are not given by God an authority to to destroy His creation. We are not authorized to do that. That is why. And again, sad to say, people are making money out of it. That is why. And again, as a science, a science teacher, I encourage you also to be responsive of what is happening to your environment. No, even a single trash, you leave it somewhere. No, it's not. It's not helping. You're actually destroying the nature. Shall we continue? We still have 8 minutes more.
Yes, sir.
It is also called extensional fault. The downward block between two normal faults dipping towards each other is called graben. Okay, let's discuss graben and horst, right? An upward, some of the students in other countries, they actually pronounce it as graben. In English countries, they pronounce it as graben. An upward block between two normal faults dipping away from each other is called horsts. So let's discuss it later. No, it is already, the illustrations are there already. Reverse fault. Okay. When the fault is an opposite to the normal, instead of hanging wall moving downwards, in the reverse fault, the hanging wall is moving upwards. Why do you think so? What do you think is the reason? The foot wall now is dripping down or submerging. What do you think is the reason why?
Because of its bigger mass.
Because of the bigger mass? Mining, yes. Oh, maybe. Yes, that's one of the, reason. What else? Mining because they mine in the footwall, correct? That's why the footwall now is moving downwards. What else? How about the movement of fluid on Earth's mantle? Can it move the hanging wall?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Um,
Yes,
water
Abby.
is like water makes them sleepy, and then what causes it? Oh wait, no, it causes it to drop.
Correct.
I mean, drop faster than it normally should.
Remember that your mantle is composed of molten rocks, right? And it is actually pressurized. When I say pressurized, the pressure there builds up, and looking for a vent. Are you familiar with the vent or an outlet to release the pressure? That is why when you're going to look at a fault, there is a fault line, right? There is a stress. Okay, the fault line and the stress may become now the extension, or shall we say the vent, or um, the area where the pressure may release. Are you still with me?
Yes. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Ravi.
I have an analogy, and I'm not sure if it's accurate.
It's okay, it's okay. I like that one.
It's like a car, sir. Um, so it's like a car when it's trying to run, some pressures go out by the exhaust. Like in the tectonic plates, it's just pressure trying to get out or other things. They're trying to get out and it causes the tectonic plate. Also pressures inside the engine. So by running the car, it needs to let pressure out.
Correct. Correct, correct. No? You have intake and exhaust in your car, correct? Now, your
Yeah.
exhaust manifold or your tambucho no, releases now the pressure because the pressure builds up in the cylinders. That is why. Same. Correct. That's one of the analogy. Same, same. So the pressure now builds up in the mantle and tries to release its pressure somewhere. Since there is a fault line and there is a stress, these molten rocks move towards it, pushing now the hanging wall or submerging now the foot wall. Correct? Any other question?
Yeah.
Let's move since we still have 3 minutes. Step fault. This is a fault system consisting of number of faults with parallel fault plane and separated blocks slipping in the same direction along parallel planes, giving a step-like feature. This fault is called fault terrace. Have you seen this fault? This is really common.
Wait. Some mountains are formed like that, right, sir?
Yes. This fault, you can actually see this fault no, in those provinces because this fault happens to be, it looks like a stepping stones. Yes, Rabi. Rabi, go ahead.
Sorry, sir. I just accidentally pressed
Okay, okay.
a shortcut.
It looks like a stepping stones, no? Because there is the movement there is it looks like you're making a stepping stone, no? Now, if you're going to look at it at a bigger picture, there are a lot of fault lines involved, correct? And remember that in these areas with this kind of fault has a lot also of volcanic activity. Sir, why is it connected? I mean, there are a lot of fault. There are also a lot of volcanic activity because again, the mantle there is composed of molten rocks, and these are the extensions, no, of those pressures. You still have 1 minute. Any other question?
No, sir.
None for me, sir.
All right. So a fault. This is a system in which, okay, less than 1 minute. Two normal faults occur when those fault planes are inclined, providing a common down throw side between them. The block between two fault planes form a long trench called graben or a rift, and some gravens are very long and also deep that may be filled with water and become water streams. Have you seen this one? No?
Yes, sir. It's is it common in it's common in rivers, right? That's how most rivers form.
Yes, correct.
Is that right?
And hot springs. Hot springs also, right? Okay, less than 1 minute. This trough fault is actually the this is